Okay, and welcome. We are playing Baldur's Gate today, and on today's exciting episode, we're gonna generate characters and hopefully get into the plot of the game. I'm gonna start out by making a male, and it's gonna be a mage. So I was just kind of looking through some of these custom pictures that came with the Ultimate Portrait Pack because I want to choose a portrait that's not one that's used by another character in the game. This one's okay. That one's kind of cool. Some of these are pretty cool. I'm looking for somebody. I mean, something like this would work pretty well because I'm doing an elven mage. That'd be all right. Some of these are funny. I guess that's a very effeminate elven mage. Let's do that. And we'll do elf, very elf-looking guy. Mage. I thought about doing a sorcerer, but I decided mage because I wanted more versatility rather than raw power. Let's do true neutral today. And here I already tested this a little bit, but I want something in the range of 90, 91, 92. This could take a while. While I'm rolling, I will try to talk about something interesting. So Baldur's Gate is an interesting game, and it goes back many years for many people. For me, it goes back, I don't know, 10 or 15 years, whenever it came out. I didn't get it the year it came out, I got it a year or two after. It might have been 2-3 years after, to be honest. But I remember I actually manually went into the computer store, back when they still had computer game stores, at this mall in my hometown that's not like the best mall, it's kind of a crappy mall. But I remember the clerk at the store told me, "Oh, you're about to embark on a real journey or adventure or something." And I thought, that's a kind of profound thing to say for somebody who's buying a computer game. But I would say he was right. I mean, this is a really great series of games. It is a super well thought out, well developed, well designed story more than anything. And it really does a nice job taking a compelling story and implanting it onto a really well crafted set of dynamic rules in the Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition setting, which is I think, in my opinion, maybe I'm an old school guy, the best aspect of the game, or best type of Dungeons and Dragons was 2nd edition. I don't think the newer editions are very good compared to 2nd edition, but perhaps I'm just imbuing that with nostalgia based on my own positive experience. Boy, I'm not getting any good rolls. I mean, I think the highest I've seen might have been an 85 or an 86. I really need it to be like 90. One thing to keep in mind on this is that theoretically there's an 87. I'll store that just in case. One thing to keep in mind on this is we are going for power, a really powerful mage. In order to get a powerful character, we're going to be first and foremost starting with high stats. High stats in general. Second tactic is we're going to get all, let's see, 6, 7, 8 stat increasing books in this game. That's why I'm playing this game first, by the way. Otherwise, I might well have just done Baldur's Gate 2, which is the more compelling chapter of this story, theoretically. But if we export our character from Baldur's Gate 1, import them into Baldur's Gate 2, I think it'll be more compelling. We'll have a more powerful character. Plus, I haven't played Baldur's Gate 1 in a while, and I'm kind of nostalgic for it, so... But we are not getting a whole lot of high rolls. We may have to we may have to do some of this. What I should have done is I should have done this off camera, probably. Yeah, maybe we'll get lucky here. You know, I don't want to spoil too much. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're familiar with the game series anyway, so probably won't spoil anything. But basically, the story that we're going to be, you know, and I'll read through the story as we go, but it's basically you're this child whose parents are dead or something, and you were left in the care of this guy in this place called Candlekeep, and you know, we'll start to learn about how things unfold, but we're on essentially the western coast of a giant continent. It's a lot of big coastal cities in a medieval fantasy period. We're selecting our character. We're able to have up to 5 other characters as well. And we already have 87. Come on, 90. 91, 92. I think while I was testing some things earlier, I did roll a 92 on a mage. So one thing to keep in mind on the character ability rolls, if there are minimums, like a paladin has to have a minimum of 17 charisma, and that artificially inflates the score because it requires a higher number from the beginning. I'm not sure exactly how the mechanics work on that. All I know is that it tends to filter out low scores because they don't work with the 17 charisma. So mage has very few minimum requisites on ability scores, and so we are going to have a range of scores that are heavily balanced in the lower end like this. Each ability score does something different, as you would imagine, for your character. For example, strength affects how much physical damage you do in combat, and things like whether you are able to... Ooh, 89 is really good. We may have to settle for that at some point. I'll keep rolling for a little bit longer. Whether you're able to break down a door or open a chest by force. That sort of thing. Dexterity affects your likelihood to hit with missile weapons and how fast you go in combat, and well, actually that might not be, but it affects certainly your armor class. It makes you harder to hit. Constitution affects your total health, your resistance to things. Intelligence affects your ability to... Ooh. I will probably go with this. That is sufficient. A 92 would be better, but a 90 is pretty darn good. So yeah, intelligence affects your spell casting primarily, especially for offensive mage spells. Wisdom, on the other hand, affects cleric abilities and your resistance to certain ability modifying status effects like charm. Charisma affects your persuasion and your ability to influence people and to get good prices in shops and things like that. And the total number of followers you can have, although this game doesn't really present that issue. Just gonna do a few more clicks here, see if I get anything. The 90 is gonna be a pretty darn good score. Again, the highest I've ever seen, at least that I can remember, is that 92 I came across while testing recently. I'm sure there are people out there who get like 93s and 94s and things, but you know, 90 is a really good total roll. Keep in mind, out of 6 scores, that means we're averaging what, 15? Yeah, it'd be 15, 15, 15 across the board with the 90. So that's a really a super powerful character. Well, I'm probably best off just calling it and taking my 90. When I did get the 92, I clicked too quickly on the reroll button, so I didn't keep it anyway. So I might end up doing the same thing here if I click too quickly. So why don't we just go with this 90? Okay, so I'm gonna take all the scores down to 10. 10 is kind of your baseline where you don't have any penalties, but you don't have any advantages. Okay, so we have 30 extra points to distribute among 6 things. Now, if we did it evenly, it would be 15, like this. But we want to inflate some of these higher. So one thing I don't need much of as a wizard is strength. So I'm going to take my strength down to 10 for now. I may tweak that a little bit. I'm going to max out my intelligence first of all. First thing. I'm also going to put my dex up a little bit, and actually I'm going to pull up a window. You're going to see my desktop for a second, but I'm going to pull up a 2nd edition stat table, and what I'm doing on my other window here is I am pulling up. Well, this is not organized very well. Let me try this one. I mean, these are all in a lot of the guidebooks. Okay, I found a good one. Okay, stupid pop-up ads. Okay, so strength, I don't really care about hit adjustment, damage adjustment. I do care a little bit about weight allowed. It goes up substantially at every 2, so 12 and 14 are good places to kind of aim for, or 10, but I don't really get an advantage by having 11. So let me think about that. Dexterity, main thing there is armor class bonus, and at 17 I get 3, at 18 I get 4. So starting at 15 I get 1, it just goes up sequentially. Constitution, I really need to get that to about 16. Because that gives me a +2 on my hit points, and that would go higher if I were a fighter. But intelligence, yeah, 18 obviously. Wisdom, magic defense adjustment, bonus spell, and that's for priests, so I don't need to worry about that. And percent spell failure, and that's for priests and druids as well. But the main thing for wisdom is the magic defense adjustment. We're going to be finding 3 books of wisdom in this playthrough, so I'm not too worried about it. But if I start at 15, I'll get +1 magic defense, get that up to 18 by the end of the game, and it would be +4, so I'd be pretty happy with that. Wouldn't need to go higher than that, by the way, because that is the maximum magic defense adjustment you can have. And then there's a lore bonus that I don't really care about, but it goes up a little bit. I guess that's to help identify things. But I think there's a equivalent lore bonus. Yeah, there's a similar lore bonus for intelligence, and I think a mage would use the intelligence one. So I'm going to have a +10 on that anyway. And when I get to 19 intelligence, it'll be +12. By the way, when I get to 19 intelligence, I can learn infinity spells per level. So that's the cool thing about that. 95% chance to learn spells at level 19, 85% chance at level 18. Can learn up to 9th level as of level 18 on the intelligence. So, and then charisma reaction adjustment. So if I have 18, my reaction adjustment is +5. If I have 13, it's +1. It just goes up sequentially at that point. So the main 2 that I need to worry about are dexterity, where strength, I want to have it at an even number. Dexterity, I want to have it 16, 17, or, really 18 would be ideal, but we'll see. Constitution, I want to have 16. And wisdom, probably 15. So let's go back to the game panel. Sorry for having you stare at the desktop there. So wisdom we're going to keep there. Intelligence we're going to keep there. I want to have my Constitution 16 and probably Dexterity 18. That just makes it harder for me to get hit, but maybe I want that in Charisma, because that adds to my reaction adjustment. That's a pretty darn charismatic character anyway. Or do I want to go for Strength? Do I want to go for like 11 Strength, and then when I get to 12 Strength, it'll increase my carry capacity? That's pretty tempting. So this will get me to 14 Charisma, 12 Strength, 18 Dexterity, 17 Constitution, and then 19 and 18 here. I'm just kind of imagining my final stats. So I think that'll be good. I think this is what I want to go with here. Let me just check the table one last time real quick on something. Yeah. Just double checking that Constitution calculation. Okay. So with that, let's click done. You know, on this one I'm gonna go with, this actually matters because some of the early game stuff you do need to be able to deal with people. I don't know. You know, sling is pretty tempting because that's reusable ammo, but quarterstaff might be the most effective basic weapon on this list. Dagger is going to be more likely to find magic daggers. I don't know. And then darts, you just find those all over the place. I guess I'll go with quarterstaff. Okay, so now it wants me to choose 2 spells to put in my spell book. I probably want... I don't know why it chose those 2. I probably want Magic Missile. Maybe Drain, maybe Identify. Maybe Sleep. Let's go with Sleep. Okay. So I get 1 Magic Missile, and I also know the Sleep spell. That's lovely. Appearance, yeah. I don't mind this at all, but as far as clothing... Should I go with this white? With a little purple on the bottom? That's kind of cool. Let's do that. Okay.
Onward! I feel this is my rightful place. Death to you all! Your life ends here.
Time for a bit of...
You got this coming!
Let's give them a right thrashing.
Well, of course. I grow torpid and...
Get over here!
Time for a bit of the rough and tumble.
Ha ha! Your life ends here.
Let's do this one. This one sounds...
I alone belong here.
Sounds kind of consistent with the character. And, oh, I need to use the Elven name generator. Just Google Elven name generator. Or elf name generator, I guess. And then you just type in... Or you click get male names. And it gave me a list of potential male names, so you can do female as well. So, looking through this list... Let me try one more go at this. Okay. I know you can't see this off screen, but Well, I'm gonna go with one of the random generated names here, so I'm gonna go with, let me see how this looks. Eleonaro Airfield? No, I don't like that last name. MR, no, doesn't look right. Let me try Finland. No. Ireland? No, I'm gonna try some different last names real quick. Sorry about the desktop popping in. How about Leolith? No. Maybe. How about Ilionaro Infine? There, that's my elf name. Ilionaro. I like it. Okay, so we have a really cool character. We're going to export him as elf mage. Okay, we're going to do new game, and we're going to import our new guy. Now you can, there's other ones that people have made that come with it, I think, that kind of give you templates to start up, but I'm going to go with the one that we just made. Appearance, we're going to keep that.
Your life, I alone belong.
Okay. Oops, and we're good there. I guess even in single player it allows you to create a party. So that's the question then. Do I want to create additional characters? And I think my answer is going to be no. So I think I'm going to keep it on normal. I think. All right, let's go.
Nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Farron. It is an imposing fortress, kept in strict isolation from the intrigues that occasionally plague the rest of the Forgotten Realms. It is secluded, highly regimented, and it is home. Within these hallowed halls of knowledge, your story begins. You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this keep's austere walls, under the tutelage of the sage Gorion. Acting as your father, he has raised you on 1,000 tales of heroes and monsters, lovers and infidels, battles and tragedies. However, one story was always left untold, that of your true heritage. You have been told that you are an orphan, but your past is largely unknown. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You have asked about his concerns as gently as possible, but your queries have been in vain. Your sole comfort is the knowledge that he is a wise man, and you know he will tell you when the time is right. Nonetheless, his silence is troubling, and you cannot help but feel that something is terribly wrong. Today, Gorion has appeared more agitated than ever, and now he has uncharacteristically interrupted your chores in the middle of the day, imparting hurried instructions for you to equip yourself for travel. He has handed you what gold he can spare, but given no clue as to why. Nevertheless, you now stand before the Candlekeep Inn, ready to purchase what you need for an unplanned and unexpected journey.
Okay. Wow. When I first played this game, I swear to God, it was more like this. Now it's all the way out here. That's great. Okay, before we get... Oh, and look at how long that is. Before we get going, I want to do a couple things. I'm going to save the game quick just to have a save game going. I'm going to call it live stream. And I'm also going to do that. That way I think... Do you guys still see that the same? No, you see that like I do. Okay, that actually makes it a lot easier for me to switch screens. So I think that'll be fine. I don't think that dramatically changes the graphics. It just allows me to switch screens a lot more easily without it hampering the streaming. That way I can get on my little websites and do things to help with my whatchamacallits, with the game progression. Let me just make sure I got everything I need here. Okay, so... Okay. And... yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm pulling up my guide here. Now, I've played this game many times before, but I want to make sure that we have a good playthrough. This is interesting how they did the graphics, because they changed it.
Very well. Hello, child. Shall we continue?
So you can talk to people like this about things. Let me talk to this person. This is Flydia.
Hello there.
And she wants a book. And I think I remember where the book is.
Hello, child. Shall we continue your lessons?
It's cows. There we go. Well, I thought the book was in a hay bale somewhere. But I guess maybe they changed it, or maybe... oh, here it is. Yeah, there it is. Tell you what, before I'm gonna do that, let me go back over to here. This is great. I love this zoom. That's so convenient. So, you know, the first thing you might want to do is buy weapons and armor. Now, I think you might be given the very basics. The tutors tell you how to play the game. This guy has a quest to give you.
It's hard to find decent folk nowadays.
He wants a scroll. I'm just going to summarize. He wants, well, it doesn't say there, but he wants a scroll. In the meantime, I'm just going to pop around into a couple of these rooms. You can try to bust these locks. You see what I'm doing down there? I'm clicking on the quarterstaff. But I am not strong enough to bust that lock, so I'm gonna move on. Now, if you're a fighter character with a high strength, you're probably gonna be able to pull that off. This guy's sleeping. I'm gonna just liberate him of that gold. And nobody's in here. Okay, now I successfully forced that one open. This is a period of the game where you actually need all this junk. This guy's sleeping as well. Oh, you know what? There should be a... there's a way to turn on... graphics gameplay. Showing things that can be looted. Hold on. I might have to look that up. 'Cause I could have sworn... oh, maybe it's here. So what I'm doing, by the way, there's a way to turn on a setting so you can see all of the lootable objects in the room or whatever. Not seeing it. Maybe it's just a Baldur's Gate 2 thing. I don't know. I'll have to look into that later. Oh, it's tab. Oh, here it is. I'm silly. Reveal details is what it's called. Okay, so if you push tab, it pops up. I knew I remembered something. Okay. So... it looks like I'm having trouble forcing that one, so move on. You know, in terms of prep, prepping for this. A thief or a fighter is going to have a bit of an advantage at this stage of the game.
What would you have me do? Your wish? All right, all right.
Whoops, I was pushing regular 2 instead of F2. F2 brings me to my quarterstaff. This guy's awake, so I can't steal from him. I could talk to him, though.
Away with you, beggar!
They always have, like, these stereotypical snobby nobles.
Don't touch me! I might catch something.
There is this quest about pantaloons at some point. I think it's at the Friendly Armin, though. Not here. But that kind of gives you a taste of what you'll find in inns.
If you insist.
Okay, now that we have our 4 gold and necklace.
as clean as an elven arse.
And he was joking about charging that much.
My hotel's as clean as an elven arse.
So we can sleep if we wanted to, but we have no reason to do that. We're at full health. my nymph mage is at full health. What we could do is we could sell this guy for 5. So we've made a grand total of 9 gold, but that's 9% of our entire starting income. We already have a regular quarterstaff. What we could do is get some missiles, like darts, or throwing daggers even. We could get a sling, which I'm tempted. Actually, I think maybe I will do that. And a couple bullets. And I'm going to get 2 stacks of 80 bullets for now. I think that should be plenty to get me started. Mages don't wear armor. Yeah, these are our regular bracers. As far as I know, they don't do anything. Same with the girdle. So I think that's about all I need to buy. You're going to be buying a lot more if you're a fighter. Press I to get to your inventory. I'm going to equip my sling, so I have that ready to go. Okay, and then let's start doing some quests. Let's oops, I guess I didn't need to do that anymore. One thing that we are going to do is we're going to go over here. So I have 2 quests pending right now, and you can press J, yeah, and that's your quest journal. So these are the 2 quests. I like how this is organized now. That might be a mod. And then ultimately I have to meet up with Gorion, but right now I have to find this book and I have to find this scroll. Oops. So what I'm gonna do is head this way, and is this just a guard? Yeah. These guards are pussies. They're armed with staves, but whatever. Talk to this guy.
Child. Shall we continue your lessons?
Yeah, another tutorial for the game, essentially. This guy's walking quickly. Alright, this says priest's quarters. Let's check in here.
Hello.
Okay, this person's asking if I'm the ward of Gorion. I say yes. And they want to kill me. Okay, so this is our first little test of combat here.
I will make you dead and done.
I'm pushing pause. Now, what happened there is he hit me for 3, and that means another hit would probably kill me. It's okay if it kills me, though, because it's early in the game. And we can just reload. Okay, so I hit him for 2. And he hit me for 1, and I hit him for I guess 3, so I killed him. I get a free dagger out of the deal. I am quite wounded now. But that is the nature of this early stage of the game. That's one exciting thing about early D&D campaigns, is that you are always going to be at the mercy of very weak forces in the world. I'm just going to loot this place for everything they have. I got both of those. Let's try this wood pile. That's locked. Let's see if I can bust it open. Now, I could have used a magic missile on this guy, because... Okay, this person's asking me about the assassination attempt. Okay, so that was nice.
All right.
We'll continue. Okay, so he tells me that Flydia left her book right here. Okay, so let's go back and, this is a temple, by the way, down here. Let's go back and return the book to this girl over here. And, if I push J right now, that doesn't even bring that up, okay.
Hello there.
Okay, so she's gonna take the book back and then give me an item as well, and the item I got was this gem, which I can sell. So that's pretty cool. Let's continue our journey, though. I remember the very first time I did this. It was so cool. It's so much better in the enhanced edition, though. Like I said, the original, you'd be basically down at this level with not as good of graphics. So this temple, you can buy things and you can receive healing.
These walls contain the world's knowledge.
So if I wanted to, I could cure light wounds. But I'm not going to do that. I could also buy some potions. I'm not going to do that either. They're super expensive at this point in the game.
Shall we continue your lessons?
Let's come down here. This is the storehouse. Okay. So this is kind of intended...
Hey!
So this person is going to engage in a play fight with me, basically. In a fight in which I cannot take damage. So after that is done, they leave. So that's just kind of to orient yourself on how to deal with fighting. Now, if you talk to this guy, he says you can get some experience and learn some more by going in here. Generally speaking, by the way, if there's like a container out in the open like that, you can usually... Oh, this might be a little tricky. Hope these guys don't hurt me. Alright, I'm kicking ass. I guess it's pretty hard for them to hurt me. God, I feel good killing rats. Okay.
Alright, alright!
I don't know what those cats were doing, not getting these rats. I guess they'll get them now. I have 2 cats at home, by the way, at real life. Okay, so just a little bit of treasure. Extremely minute amount of experience.
Alright, alright!
And 5 gold pieces for doing that. So that's another quest you can do. Just so you know, you can click on this at any time. You can, this is your character. You can also press C. Next level is in 2375 experience. I'm still level 1 here. This is just part of the keep. This is a really cool keep, by the way. It's just a very basic, you know, defensible little keep with a couple of outbuildings, essentially. It's very minimalistic. And this is essentially a library. We'll see that later. Another tutor. We'll continue. I guess this is the front gatehouse here. We'll come down here. Now this area down here
Our rules are very strict.
Soon you'll be gone. He's going to teach me about party-based combat in just a second, but I'm going to pop in here first. This is the hospital, or the, you know, clinic, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes?
He says he lost an arm. Doesn't like me bringing it up. Now, if you're clever, and you avoid line of sight, I believe there is... It's not there. I think it might be over here.
No, excuse me, but I'm late for my classes.
Okay, so you talk to him. Could have sworn there's like a potion in here, but maybe you have to be like a thief to get it. I don't know.
Very well.
Anyway, we're supposed to learn some things in here.
Our rules are very strict.
So this allows you to do a mock combat with a party. Now, we could go through this, and you know, I'm not going to, but your party, this just kind of acquaints you with a very basic, very average party. You can see they're level 2. You know, they have basic armor. This is a chainmail. It looks like a regular axe, a regular shield. But, you know, they're better equipped than I am, certainly.
I need a swig of some strong.
And even if you do nothing during the combat, you'll still win.
What would you have me
and you
do?
can take their stuff. The problem is it vanishes when you leave the building. So what I recommend... what I'd recommend is... If you want to learn a little bit about the game, that's fine. I'm going to use it as an opportunity to loot the place, if possible. I don't recall if there's anything in here. But these companions are not permanent, and you will lose your stuff if you leave the area. So, I think they all just disappeared. There might not be any loot in here. And to the extent there is, it might all be locked in a way that I can't access. Yeah, there's no loot. That's great. Okay, well, let's move on out. He'll take me outside.
Wisdom is only possessed by the learned.
So you get, I don't know if you even get the experience from that. You might not. There's no loot on the monsters that you kill. Let me just, yeah, I don't know.
Hurry up!
I just don't seem to have gained anything from that, so in the future maybe I'll just skip that. Okay, so we have another building here. A couple of barrels, a chest. I might want to grab some stuff here. If there's anything in these. This is the bunkhouse. Now I'm gonna do something now. Is it F8? I gotta remember this. F9. I gotta remember how to quick save. Gameplay, assign keys, quick save, actions. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. L is quick load, quick save is Q. Okay, that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna press Q, and there it says quick save successful. That way if I die I have a much more recent.
I have a blade with your name on it.
And we have another assassin. And they're gonna attack me. And see, they killed me there. So that's why you want a quick save. Now, you can just load that right back up, and Yeah, this battle might be too tough for me right now.
With your name on it.
I'd be a little surprised if I win this. Okay, I won that. So again, you know, you're very squishy at this point, but you're trying to save money and stuff. So we've had 2 assassins in this supposedly secure keep already.
Something on your mind?
He's dead. Whoever he was, he lunged at me with a knife. Oh, Karan, what is happening to this place? It's not this place, child. It's you they're after. Okay, well, you get some ominous warnings there. 8 gold, though. I'll take it. Barracks. We can go in here. I don't believe there's an assassin in this one.
If you insist.
Probably can't steal anything because there's people watching. Let me see if I can get over here. Nah, probably not.
What would you have me do? If you insist.
Let me talk to this guy.
I should have joined the army.
Yeah, they're keeping their eye on me. I'm not gonna steal anything.
Very well.
Don't want to cause a fight, and I really don't need the extra money at this point. I've done everything I can possibly do given my character to make money. One thing I do need to do is I need to come over here. So this person's gonna walk all the way over to here and come down here. This is for that scroll, for that quest that I started by talking to the mage-looking guy inside the inn. So now, for the first time, we're seeing the courtyard.
When
conflict sweeps across the dales.
Okay, there's Tetheril, the guy I'm looking for.
Shall descend with fire and fury. So saith the great.
Okay, so they want me to take this scroll. These are like monk people talking about this wise Alondo guy. Interesting lore. I don't really care. I could keep this scroll if I wanted to, and frankly, there's argument to be made that that's the more valuable thing to do. But identify becomes ubiquitous pretty quickly in this game, so I think I'm going to go ahead and give it back just for the sake of the story.
It's hard to find decent folk nowadays.
We cast a protection from evil. How do I get this expanded? There used to be a little... Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry. So I did gain 50 experience and I got the protection from evil. Arguably, the scroll itself is more valuable, but... oh, and I can do a couple more things real quick.
My hotel's as clean as an elven arse.
First of all, I definitely want to sell all this stuff that I got. Oh, I do have a healing potion. I must have gained that somewhere. Okay, and then the other thing I might want to do,
my hotel's as clean as an elven arse,
is get a nice merchant room here and have a sleep. And that should heal me. Actually, it just healed me the 2. But hey, that's better than nothing. I guess I could have gone with the noble room. I have no way of healing myself right now, so I really need a cleric in my party. I was tempted to create one at the character creation, but I didn't.
I am very
so now you're going to want to go over here now that you've done your quest.
I'm sure Gorion is.
Whenever I walk long distances across the map, I tend to have a drink of beer.
Hey, it's me, Emmowen.
Oh, you know what? I need to, before I talk to Orion, I need to do one last thing. I forgot. I believe it's out here. There is a cow. And this guy over here needs an antidote for his cow. So while he's walking, I'm just going to check and make sure I got all the quests. Need to find Hull. There's a guy who needs his sword. Oh, I got the potion from the priest in the infirmary. Okay, so there's a couple more quests that I forgot. Okay, first one, sorry to have a pause there. This guy, who I talked to earlier.
What do you need?
Needs an antidote for his cow. So just gonna pop over here to this temple, talk to this guy here.
Wisdom is only possessed by the learned.
And he does have antidotes. I can't afford them though.
Hello, child. Shall we continue your lessons?
I probably actually need to read. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so the guy that who has the antidote is at the gate, not the temple. There's also a guy named Fuller in the barracks. We talked to him. And he needs bolts from Winthrop. So we do have to do a couple more quests. Now, we may not do this level of detail of quests all the time. He looks just like a normal guy. Okay, he tells me the thing is in the barracks. And he wants me to get his sword. Okay, so that's the bunkhouse barracks. Okay. I find the layout of this keep very interesting. The outbuildings are kind of haphazard. And I love how there's like an inner curtain of wall where there certainly doesn't need to be.
Very well.
I should have joined the army.
Okay, so this is the chest I need to get the stuff from. Okay. And let me talk to him while we're here.
Joined the army.
Wants me to get a quarrel of crossbow bolts. Okay. So now we have a sword. We basically need to go... Let's go up to the end, get the bolts, come back and do a circle. Actually... Yeah.
Alright, alright!
I think that's the most efficient way to do this. So the first one we're going to do is get the crossbow bolts. Then we're going to go back to the guy in the barracks, give him the crossbow bolts. Then we're going to go back to the guy at the gate, give him the sword. Then we're going to go back to the cow guy and give him the antidote. It's about 5 little run errand quests like this, but you can get a little bit of a head start on the experience. And this is a, I want to do a fairly complete playthrough of this game.
Very well.
So that's why I'm doing
My
it.
hotel's as clean as an elven arse.
Now, I could sell that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to get our crossbow bolts, which are right here. So you lose a gold on that, but you'll make up for it in experience terms.
Very well.
Push M, you can zoom out on the map, and you'll see the whole area with points of interest marked. Nice, clean image there. I don't think they've changed one iota of this starting area.
Very well.
Since the game was created.
I should have joined the army.
Okay, so I got 10 gold and 50 experience for that, which is great. And we're gonna go over here.
Alright!
And talk to this guy, get his sword back to him. Okay, he gives me 10 gold as well and 50 experience. That's great. And then we're going to go back here, and then we're going to go talk to Gorion. And that, my friends, will be a 100% complete Candlekeep. Sorry. I bumped the microphone with my chin.
What do you need?
Okay, 50 experience on that one, no gold. So we ended up with, what did we end up with? 164 gold and a potion, a sling, 160 bolts. Pretty good stuff. Minus 2 health there. Oh, I guess it's R, not C, to get to this screen. 2155, so we gained that much experience, however you want to quantify that. I don't really, it doesn't say how much I have received. You know, probably a couple hundred, maybe 300. Okay, so we're gonna pop up here and talk to Gorion.
I'm very proud of you, as I'm sure
There's Tethil,
Gorion
or
is.
whatever. He's like chasing me down. Okay. Let's do this. Let's zoom in. Unfortunately, when you zoom in, the character sprites, or whatever, get a little bit blurry. But I think it's kind of the art style they're dealing with here.
Oh, my child, I am glad I have found you.
Okay, I'm ready to go. So he wanted me to come traveling with him. That was the
Listen
initial...
carefully. If we ever become separated, it is imperative that you make your way to the Friendly Arm Inn. There you will meet Khalid and Jahira. They have long been my friends, and you can trust them.
Okay, good advice. And this guy is granting us a ward to get through
Let's
the
hurry,
gates.
child. The night can only get worse, so we must find shelter soon. Don't worry. I will explain everything as soon as there is time. Wait,
This is
there is
interesting.
something wrong. We are in an ambush. Prepare yourself.
You're perceptive for an old man. You know why I'm here. Hand over your ward and no one will be hurt. If you resist, it shall be a waste of your life.
Okay, so up to this point, we've kind of been told that he wanted to get us out of there on a hush-hush kind of mission. And he basically said, I can't tell you all the details, but we're in great danger. Let's get going. Let's get out of this place. And now we're being ambushed by this guy who's asking specifically for me. And he's got a couple of ogres, an archer, and a guy with a shield. Let's see what happens.
If you believe I would trust your benevolence, step aside and you and your lackeys will be unhurt.
Gorion's going to show off his stuff now.
I am sorry that you feel that way, old man.
I'm certain to die without...
Now, you can't control anything in this fight, so it doesn't matter. It sends you running automatically away. This guy just wastes all the companions. Nice. And he goes down himself, but I've run away in the meantime.
Dawn is especially cruel this morning. You awake with the realization that you have not been living some horrible dream. Ambushed, you saw Gorion cut down before your eyes, and even his powerful magic could not stop the onslaught. It was his wish that you flee, but that does not remove the feeling of helplessness that now overwhelms you. Hand over your ward, the armored fiend had said. He was after you and you alone, but why? If only Gorion had given some clue. But now you are alone and lost. Candlekeep is near, but you will find no quarter there. The readers pay for their serenity with rather draconian entry rules, and without Gorion's influence, their doors will remain closed. You will not last long on your own with your meager equipment. Perhaps you can get some help from the friends Gorion mentioned, the ones at the Friendly Arm.
Okay, well this is what the guy looks like in reality who attacked us. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, if you watch the opening video to this game, I think there's like a guard getting thrown off a balcony by a guy that looks just like this, so...
Hey, it's me, Emmoen.
Okay, this girl from the keep followed me. Now, this is her Baldur's Gate 2 picture, by the way. I installed a mod that updated those. Okay, followed you, blah, 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 saw the fight, kind of figured something bad might happen. Whatever, she says she kind of knew, whatever. And then she joins our party. So now we have Emmoen here. Now
You're a queer fellow.
Is a thief level 1, high dexterity, pretty darn good thief actually. High intelligence as well. She could be a good mage. A lot of people say that. So, what you want to do with her? I guess just let's take a look at her stuff. She has 3 potions, a what do you call that? A speed potion, and this magic missiles wand, which she's able to use. I guess I don't even know. Requires 9 intelligence. That's the only requirement. So easy enough. So we're gonna give those to her in her quick slots. I'm gonna stack up her arrows as well. She comes with a short bow. Absolutely nothing else in terms of armor or anything. She's like wearing like a pink getup, which is pretty cool. And then if I'm checking on myself, let me do something similar. I put this in my quick slot here. So now I've got 2 people with missile weapons, and I will tell you right now, we are both as squishy as heck. So if we encounter anything from as far as a rat or a rabbit or whatever, we might die. I'm gonna go ahead and quick save. And by the way, I'm gonna finish the stream up on this map just by going up to the ambush site here. So we're gonna head up this way.
All right.
This is where I fled down to, this road. But we're gonna head back up to where we last saw our stepfather. My stepfather, Gorion. Okay, good. No creatures popped out to kill us. That's always a good sign. Okay, and we do have a couple things here. We have the stuff from those minions that he slayed and Gorion's stuff. So I'm gonna have Emmoen get all this stuff. She has a very low strength. She has a strength of 9, and my strength is 11. So I can carry, I think, 70 pounds or maybe 50 pounds. She can carry like 30 pounds.
I'm gone.
If you insist.
I care not.
Is that Gorion? Yes, he died saving me. I was scared out of my wits. What do you expect? Alright. Lovely. Okay, so if I go to my stuff, a couple things. First of all, you can read this by right-clicking, and you can copy it as well. I'd recommend copying every note the second you get them. So this is from somebody named E to my friend Gorion. Please forgive the abruptness with which I now write, but time is short and there's much to be done. What we have long feared may soon come to pass, though not in the manner foretold. We've done what we can. Perhaps sheltering, it wasn't so good. He wants to try to avoid being neutral after he's been neutral this whole time. Urge to leave Candlekeep this very night if possible. Moving target harder to hit. Reminder that these 2 are staying at the Friendly Arm Inn. Okay. So basically he's saying they're out to get you. You need to leave right now. Moving target's harder to hit. By the way, our buddies are staying at the Friendly Arm Inn. Got this dagger here. Just regular dagger. And then I got this belt, which is magical. You can tell because it's blue. Now, if I had a means of identifying it, such that identifies scroll, I could identify it. I know that that is a girdle of piercing. It prevents arrow damage. Emmoen got another short bow. She already has a short bow. Leather armor, which I'm going to equip. That changes her armor class from 6, which is pretty good. The 6 currently is based on her high dexterity, by the way. So basically, you start out with an armor class of 10, and I have a 3 modifier because of dexterity. She has a 4 modifier, so it goes down to 6, and then you put this on that adds 2, so it goes down to 4, and the lower it is, the better. It's like a golf score. Thaco is the 2-hit armor class 0, and it's a base of 20, and it goes down over time as you get more experience. So what you do is you roll a 20-sided die, and you subtract that number from the 20 here, and if you get it to whatever their armor class is, you'll hit, and if you don't, you don't. So using this as an example, if she were to roll a 16, you subtract the 16 from the 20, you end up with armor class 4, and she has armor class 4. So you would, I believe you'd hit there, and then if it was a 15, you would miss. So that's how that works. She is capable of carrying 50 pounds. She already has 41. So I'm going to give this to this guy here. He can carry 70. So a little bit more room for carrying heavy items. Okay, so that's all we can do here. So she's bantering. It's interesting if you want to read through it. Sorry, I clicked through it so fast. Okay. Some of that might be from the mods. I have a couple mods that add dialogues. I'm going to have to go ahead and end the stream now. I have some other commitments. It's New Year's Eve after all, and turns into 2018 in about 1 hour and 40 minutes, so I'm going to go get ready and have a cocktail perhaps and enjoy the new year. But if you've been watching, thank you very much. I certainly enjoy this, and I'm really excited to be streaming Baldur's Gate 1. Sorry it took so long to create the characters, and what we're going to do next time is we are going to do a little exploring on this map, but then we're going to move on, try to get to the Friendly Arm Inn and do some stuff up there. So that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Baldur's Gate 1.